bottom.
Yeah, no, I mean, so does that mean like about they top every now and then or what? Like I asked someone else the same question. I was like, how many like what makes someone can say that they're versed? I feel like if you're versed, like that's equal, like you do it both. You
Let,
know, like the
let,
same time.
let's. I'm gonna bring someone else on too with you. Let's see. Let's see what. Let's have a little discussion. Let's see what um others have to say. Let's see. Hold on. Actually, do me a favor. Hang up
Yeah.
and come back on because I want your video to show up on my
Oh,
end. I can
okay.
see it on the other end, but for some odd reason on my screen it won't. So hang up and I'll bring you right back on. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. So we're having a conversation about why do we feel like there are no, why is everyone a bottom? Not why are there so many bottoms. I just I have a question about like if a guy bottoms a few times, y'all call him a bottom for the rest of his life. Like I just want to know why. Like why do you all think everybody is a bottom? That's the discussion today. Okay, so I'm inviting people to join me live and have the conversation about it. Okay, so if you want to join, click the request button, but make sure your app is updated so you can join. Instagram is doing something weird, so we'll see. I'm bringing Jamaris back on. Um, let's see if it works. Mm-mm-mm. Somebody. Okay, good. So I can see you now.
Okay,
Okay, good,
cool.
good,
Cool.
good. I'm gonna bring also African Prince on as well. I'm gonna bring him on as well. Let's see. We're having a conversation. I know it's a random Thursday at like 4:30. Oh, don't click the request button and then don't accept people. Like I don't know what that's about. Eric, I'll come to you. Let's see. Um, but in the comment section, I want to know like what is the definition of a bottom? Like that's the question. Hey
I was
Eric,
waiting.
how you
What's
doing?
going on, Lamont? What's going on? What's going on?
So we are answering the question why in the gay community is why is everybody a bottom? Why is everyone considered a bottom? Like you take dick one time and you a bottom for the rest of your life.
That's so stupid. I feel like that's you. That's them trying
Listen,
new
if you
things. You
look at
know.
the logic and the comments that have from the post I made, everybody's a bottom.
Yeah.
I feel like you know what? I feel like when it comes to sex, there's no rules. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been time, and I'm a bottom, but it has been times when a guy has offered for me to want him to penetrate them,
So
and
a
it
guy
just
wanted you to top him.
yeah, and it's like, and I think it just depends on a connection. I think it's a connection thing. I don't think because if a person gets penetrated, they're automatically just in this bottom category. It's just based on because, like I was saying in my story, a lot of DL men they're being topped by trans females.
And they
Let's
love
be
it. They
there.
love
And
it.
these are the guys who we go after or who we want or the
Okay.
trade. But the trade is being traded off as bottoms too. They want to get plumbed.
Speak on it.
Let's keep it above. Y'all over here always, oh, he's so masculine. Oh, I want him to talk. But yet he's so masculine and he wants to get bent over too.
So
We
is he
gotta
a
keep it
bottom then?
real.
Is he a bottom then?
No,
Oh, you
because
I
if you
don't know if he's
hesitate.
a bottom
You
though,
wait,
because
wait. You
that's based
hesitate.
on how the way that man feels. That's based on him. We can't sit here characterize every why we're just gonna group you. You know what I'm saying? Because just like there's a saying, every top was once a bottom. You know what I'm saying? But that's it's a grain of salt. We can't sit here and just paint that narrative. It's just based on that person. I think whatever happens in your bedroom defines you. Now, when you single, that's a different narrative because when you dating and you single, then yeah, some people say, "But I'm this, I'm that, I'm this." They go by their
Hmm.
narrative.
Hmm.
Boom. But in a relationship, your sexual preference is defined in the bedroom, and it's
So
whatever gets your partner.
I got a question for both of y'all, and I want y'all to be
Okay.
honest. I want you to be
Okay.
honest. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
Eric, you said you identify more as a
I'm a
bottom, right?
bottom, but I may like but I may be a holiday top. I heard it on here, so
Yeah,
I
yes.
may be
You
a
look your
top.
birthday holiday top,
You
right?
know what I'm saying? I made him a surprise one year. You know what I'm saying? But
So here's the question though.
yes.
Would you let a guy who identifies as a bottom, like people in the streets, they know he's a bottom, would you let him top you if he was like, I want to top you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Me, if
Like
we got a
everybody in the street
connection
knows he's
one,
a bottom. They know he's a bottom.
Oh
but if we got it,
hell
but you
no.
know what? But that's everybody in the street. He's everybody in the street's bottom, but he may be my top in my bedroom, and that's nobody's
Nah,
business.
it couldn't.
That's nobody's business.
Jamars, tell us why. Tell us why.
Just be. I don't know. It's a mental thing for me. Yeah, I don't want no, because like I don't top. Like I've never topped before, like ever. That I don't do that thing. Like yeah, I'm not doing
So
that.
you're a pure
I'm
bottom.
period. Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
So and yeah, I couldn't do it. I mean, I'm sure that it's like a toxic way of thinking, whatever. But I don't give a shit. Like if you out there bottom, you was not about to top me, baby. You're not doing that. Like no,
Unpack it.
no, sir.
Unpack it. Tell us why. We want to know why. Because this is what. Because this is good. This is good. Tell us why. You about to set some people free. Let us hear it. Come on.
I don't. I think it's because like as soon as like I found that they bottom, it's like they sis. It's like girl, like no. I don't know why. I guess because like it's a mental thing when it comes to the whole masculine and feminine thing that's a little bit toxic, but like you know you like what you like, and I just don't like. I want a man that's extremely like like everybody else, like you said. But I've dated guys that were a little feminine too, but they didn't top. I mean, they didn't bottom. They just topped, and they've always topped.
Let
So
me ask you this
okay,
question: Is it based on look? Does look plays a part of who you would
Hell,
let?
hell, you know what? That is no. You said it. You said it because you said it. If there was you know what? I lied. I would. It depends on what they look like.
So
I
if
lied.
it's a really attractive, muscular, masculine, 12-inch
He don't even
bottom.
have to be.
Told
He
you.
don't even have to be masculine. He don't have to be because he don't have to be like. He don't have to be super masculine at all. Like I'm cool with that. But what I'm saying is, nobody would know French tips, no blue weave, and contacts is talking about they a top. Girl, you a what?
So you don't.
Baby, no.
So it's about feminine. You don't like feminine
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because
It's the look.
I consider myself a little like a femi sometimes, and like I could like that's like I'd be a lesbian, and then like I just on Twitter, it's like you see dudes posting on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh, I need some ass, bitch. You have on 6-inch heels and a merc in a Birkin bag. Like, nah, baby, not over here, and I
So
can't."
you wouldn't let a soft
But you
top,
have
a
some people
blouse
that like
top
that.
you.
Like
What'd you say?
You wouldn't let a soft top or a blouse, as we say it, top you.
Okay, see, I just learned what the word soft top means, and I thought that meant just like a top who's like really sensitive and like
Yeah,
you know.
that's a soft top.
that's a
The
sore
blouse
top.
is more of a feminine top, like an Uncle Clifford type.
Oh no, baby, no, baby. I
Y'all
can't do
bumping
that.
stilettos.
No,
Stiletto bumping.
No,
no
no.
way, no way.
Okay, okay. But Eric, you're like, okay, yeah. If people know he's a bottom and he want to top you, you down with it.
What?
I think it's all about for me. Like it's a connection for me because connection is a rarity, especially in our community. Like everybody's so fixated on what a person looks like. I think
Mhm.
it's all about how we connect with someone, and especially when it comes to our bedroom. And
Mhm.
even me being a bottom, I could say I'm in between. Sometimes I can give masculine, and sometimes I can give a little, whatever. But I think it's just based on how what makes me feel at the moment at the given time.
Yeah.
And now that I'm 41, I'm learning to understand whoever my person is have to accept me for who I am, and I'm going to accept them for who they are and what we do and building our relationship together. And that's how I'm open minded to just exploring different avenues. And
So
that's just
Eric,
where I'm at
so Eric,
right
you
now.
you you are taking the point that somebody put in the comment section is that like you can separate sexual roles from personality.
Oh yes, I can't.
Yeah.
Jamar's is
Let
like,
me tell
no,
you, and I'm
they
gonna
kind
tell a
of like
little personal story
parallel.
real quick, clip
Yeah.
notes. Nothing. I'm a real quick story. I messed with a DL dude, right? And at first, I was his bottom. He was my top. As we connected in our sexual in activity, he's I tapped him when he's grinding on my middle part. I'm not gonna say his
What?
size. I know his size.
You can say
You know
we
what I'm
don't.
saying? And
You
we
fine.
and we had a good time when it, to the point that the roles they don't exist anymore. We just here for one moment is to get off and have a good time to the point that we become one. And even though I know this man is not mine, and he know where I'm at in my life, but at this given moment in time, we're just about having a good time, and we do that in our freaks explore. That's it. Yes, initially I am a bottom,
Mhm.
but if our connection is bomb, let's go. Let's go.
That's fair. That's fair.
I want to turn you on, and I want you to turn me on. That's it.
That's fair. I like that. I'm gonna bring on some other people. Thank you both for your
All right, I'm gonna
comments,
go.
your
I'm gonna go on the
insight.
comments. Mwah. I gotta go on your show, Lamar. I'm scared. I'm scared, but just give me a minute. I'm gonna come on.
Okay,
I'm
one
I'm
day, you let me
scared.
know. Get some liquor courage or something.
What?
All right, bye, you guys. Have a
All
good
right,
day.
all right. Let's see. So listen, we are talking about, why is everyone considered a bottom? You want to come on? Let's talk about it. I want to get you all's perspectives. Um, I think it's Jamal. I'm gonna bring you on, and then I also saw Thaddeus. I'm gonna bring you on, my cousin. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna see if y'all ready. Oh yes, heteronormative roles. I see that. Hey Jamal, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Wipe your screen off real quick, a little bit, okay? I'm gonna bring in Real. I'm gonna bring you into. Let's see. Let's see. African Prince, I thought you was coming on. You had clicked the request button, but I guess not. Okay. Um, let me bring. Okay. Yep. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. Both introduce yourselves to people who are watching.
Well, I don't see nobody yet.
Oh,
I don't.
Instagram is acting weird. Sometimes it does it. Hang up and hit it again, and I'll bring you back on. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So with this new Instagram update, sometimes when people go live, we can see everybody, but you can't see yourself on the screen.
That's crazy.
I've been trying to move content to YouTube, but I don't know if the kids want to go to YouTube. So Instagram will deal with your hiccups. Oh, let's see. I think you are spinning. You are spinning. Who is that one? That no. I'll bring the other one guy back on. Let's see. What was his screen name? Oh, I don't know. He has to click the request again. Click the request again, sir, and I'll bring you back on. But Jamal, let's talk about it. I posted this video of this guy who said that 50% of the time he bottoms, and the other 50% he tops. The comment section said he is a bottom. He is a secret bottom.
I don't think he's a secret bottom. I think at the end of the day, we have a preference on what we want to do. Um, and with that preference, we can choose to either top or we can choose the bottom. Or now the new saying, what is side, where we don't
Mm-hmm.
even penetrate, we just jack off or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what that person is feeling at that given point in time. I know for me, I'm a bottom for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Now, relationship, there's times where the guy that is supposed to be just the top, he's asking to be penetrated, and I have renewed my license, so to speak, and did what needed to be done.
So you have to do what needs to be done. So you top the guy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider myself a top. I just consider myself a pleaser at that point in time with the person I'm, with to please them.
Okay. Now, a question is, I asked the same other guys this. So, if there's a guy who is known to be a strict bottom, like all your girlfriends, your friends, they know he's a bottom.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back. Would you let him top you?
I would, because you know what? You never know what you can miss out on, because they may can do some things that the person that you thought would do the things that you needed done,
Mm-hmm.
they may do that much better than that person. So I don't want to block my blessings or miss out on my blessings because I'm putting myself in a box.
Okay. Nice. Sir, what's your name? You're joining with the hat on?
Yes, my name is Dayrell.
Dayrell, nice to meet you.
How you doing?
So I'm doing great. We're talking about why is everybody considered a bottom?
Well, it's really about, well, everything's a personal choice.
Mhm.
So, and being that, we're walking around with aesthetics and accessories and things of that nature, and the game changes like kind of change because, it's like prejudgment, and they just see you and say, oh, you're a bottom because you're wearing a person and all that stuff like that. But for me personally, as a 57-year-old man, so I'm looking out and I'm seeing things are changing, so I have to adapt.
Mhm.
So I have a way of seeing, looking into somebody who is feminine more than me and seeing the masculine side of things in them. You know what I'm saying? They might have a beard, or they might have a mustache, or something like that. And I can look past it if they say, "Oh, I'm a bottom." You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? I can look past all that. So
Well,
it doesn't
what,
really affect me.
Darrell, I said nothing. I said nothing about mannerisms, about what they look
Okay.
like, how they dress, whatsoever. And
Right.
I think it's really I don't know, it's telling that people associate bottoms with being feminine. Like
Yeah,
Right.
if you take dick, you definitely have to be the more femme one, right?
yeah,
Right.
and I said it earlier in the comment. I think it's because we're trying to fit into the heteronormative roles,
Mhm.
like the gender. So what we're trying to do is say, because you're feminine, you're the woman in the relationship. Because even the straights do it to us, right? If
Mhm.
I bought a guy that was feminine home and my family saw that, they're gonna look at it like, who's the one that's fucking
Who's the
who?
woman?
Yeah,
Who's
it, and that's not necessarily the case. I mean,
Right.
I've dated multiple guys that were either femme, mask, or
Mm,
whatever.
mm,
To me, I mean, like I said, I'm mostly bottom, and they have
mm.
taught me bottom home, and people thought I was the one giving it, like in my family or my friend circle, and I'm like, yeah, not really.
No, I'm doing the bending. Right, right, right.
Yeah, and it, like so Janet, I'm doing.
Darrell. So I don't know. How do you identify as top, bottom, verse, side?
I'm versatile, but I'm older, so my lineage in the gay community and plus coming out of the closet is something way different from a lot of people. So
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 57.
So you're 50. Oh yeah. So yeah, 57. You probably have a wealth of experience and knowledge. How would your generation define someone who is a bottom?
Well, we really don't even think about it because, everybody in my generation, most of my generation, because everybody like they went over to being trans or they just being, they own film themselves, with the voguing and everything, from the past and stuff like that. So we're used to seeing stuff like that. We're not bothered by that. So whatever might turns us on, or whoever might finds us attractive, or whatever the case may be, we'll go with that because we're not, there's nothing to be really, we're over it.
Y'all kind of just feel like y'all go with the flow. The guy could be masked, could be femme, they could be trans, and y'all just like, if I'm in love with the person, we just make it work.
Yeah, because in the dating world today, it's really complex. It's really about all the aesthetics. There's a lot of prejudgment going on. It's still going on in the age bracket I am, in my generation.
Yeah, so I guess my experience with guys in your generation that the majority of them that I've interacted with, they subscribe to heteronormative roles. So like, there's a strict top, there's a strict bottom. These are the ones who are out of the closet, not the ones who are like not sharing the business, but like. This is the bottom. He's a little more femme. This is the top. He's a little bit more masculine. And there's very few who are like versatile.
Right.
Right.
Well, and I think too, it goes back to, we talk about mask and film, right? We talk about that a lot in this community. Someone has said it, how do we break it? I don't know if it'll ever be broken, but one way that we can bring light to the situation is have these type of conversations. So when we
Mhm.
have these type of conversations and you see people that don't fit into that stereotype that you think of, then you can see. But think about it. Whenever we were growing up, we would see movies, right? The way that we portrayed the movies, either, I remember, what was it, Low Down Dirty Shame?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yep.
Yeah, the way that the media portrayed gay people, the way that the media portrays black people, like thugs or, you know, fatherless children, that type of thing. That's
Right.
what now we're basically judging the book by its cover based on looks because we keep saying mask and film.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, and people who are joining, we're talking, people who are watching, we're talking about like why um, are gay men all called bottoms if they bottom once, right? Like if, you know, if they bottom once, you're bottom for the rest of your life. So we want to get you all's input. If you want to come on, click the request button, you can, we can talk.
And all that right there is a personal choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now,
Well, Lamont,
do you think more bottoms are calling guys bottoms? Do you think it's tops calling guys bottoms? Who do you think is calling people bottoms?
I think it's a bit of both. I think bottoms are calling people bottoms because we're finding bottoms that don't want to talk.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So we're
Hmm.
on the top. So we're saying the world is full of bottoms. So it's hard for us to find the tops that we need in this world.
What's the
Especially,
label that they use? Do the guys say, I'm versatile, I'm a verse, and they get home and they're like, they ain't trying to give nothing up?
no, it's like even if, say, you're on the app or you meet someone at the club and you vibing with that person, when it gets to the point of you want to have sex with that person, you get to that conversation and say, hey, what's your position in the bedroom? And they're like, hey, I'm a bottom. And it's like, yeah, me too. And so it's like, who's going to top who? And if we don't top each other or decide we're going to, you know, flip flop or whatever,
Mhm.
then hey, we can only be friends. And to be honest with you, that's happened to me 3 times. And those 3 people are still in my life
Mhm.
as a we
Mhm.
travel together, we hang out together, whatever, but it's never worked with us sexually.
Is it just sexually? Like does everything else align, but sexually you both just want to be penetrated?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go a little deeper, and you don't have to answer this question, or people can answer in the chat. Like, so I have found that there are um, primarily two reasons why guys choose the bottom, or not choose the bottom, but they fall into the bottom category. One is that it's all about desire. Like they desire love to be penetrated. Like that is like absolutely amazing. That's the best climax that they get. And they do not desire to penetrate another guy. Like their dick gets soft when they're like even thinking about penetrating another guy. They're like, oh, get someone else to do it. Like it's just not for them. So that's all about desire. And then the other reason is because it's about performance. Like they might want to penetrate a guy, but their dick won't get hard. So it could be because of their health or their age or something. So those are the two categories where people fall into deciding to be or just being a bottom. What do you think
And
about those two categories, you all?
I think it's the distinction between that. Well, I'm a psychologist, so I think there's a distinction between that because once you have the experience, then it's what you said second, and then first is when you just like coming out the closet trying to find yourself.
Mhm. So when you come out of the closet, you're experimenting, you're trying to figure out what you like sexually, and then you kind of figure it out.
Yeah, because you know it starts when you're a baby. You play with your fingers and play with this and play
Hmm.
with that. You know, you're trying to find out what makes you feel good and soothes you,
Hmm.
because it's about soothing.
Hmm.
And as we get older and we get to experience the anal part and things like that, it's really about instant gratification once the experience is in there, because it's like you really want to get to the point of orgasms and things like of that nature.
Hmm.
And you know, for me, as now that I'm older and 57 years old, I find it more to be more experienced, as we need to take things more into consideration when we come together for sexual, because it's very meaningful when we come together for a sexual, experience. It's meaningful. It should mean something. It should not be all about, oh, if you this or if you that or whatever the case may be. Just come together I'm like a dinosaur, but when we was coming up and being our sexual selves,
Hmm.
we was coming together for the experience.
Yeah.
It's not about pointing fingers but yeah, we laugh at each other. Yeah, you did this and you did that and la la la. We laugh about that. But as far as everything was, kumbaya about the experience.
Hmm. Hmm.
That was
Well,
So
isn't it the best teacher?
Experience is a good teacher. I do also think, people disagree with me. I think if it's particularly for guys who are having trouble finding compatibility, if you push your preferences and try to experience different things, it's easier to find compatibility. So, like, there are guys, if they fall in a category of performance, like their dick won't get hard for whatever reason, I'm like, take some Cialis, take a Viagra, it'll get hard. Go ahead and be a little bit more versatile.
Yes.
That will help you find more compatibility. But if it's about like desire, if you're like mentally, you're just like, oh my God, I can't even think about topping a guy, then I question why. Like, is it something that you were taught that, like, if you penetrate a guy, if a guy gets penetrated, that he is feminine or he is less than a man? I think that's some internalized homophobia. Like,
Well, and I said that experience is the best teacher, not because of me, but because of with one of my exes that wanted me to top. That was something I had never did before, and then I actually realized I did actually kind of like it. It wasn't something I wanted to do all the time, but he taught me so many different things about myself that I didn't even know about because I experienced it. Damn, I really like this. This has never been done to me. I want this done to me every time. So it's, when I go to the next guy, I'm like, oh, I need this done.
Yeah.
Or, I'm your head, I'm moving in a certain direction because I want to experience that same experience. Probably not with my ex, but with because it made me feel, to your point, it made me get to that climax that experience.
Yes, and you and Dayrell are saying the same thing. It's more about the experience with the guy. Like, it's yours individual experience where you're making this sexual experience the best that it can be, and it's not about just getting a nut, right? Or just doing something that is like you're used to doing. It's making that true intimate connection. So
Exactly, something meaningful.
yeah.
You want to go probably now go in the street or go to a bathhouse or something like that to get a nut. So it's more so about the experience.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
With
look,
that,
yes. Would you say?
I said it's just about that experience to me with that one person,
Yeah,
not with a lot of different people.
yeah, yeah.
But we had a late start. I'm gonna say that too, because looking at my siblings, they were able to date in high school because society accepted them dating. We had to conceal who we were, even though we probably knew who we were at that age. I couldn't date any high school. I look now. I have a nephew that's a senior in high school and has a boyfriend. I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah.
Start
Exactly.
we had to start later. My first boyfriend didn't come into college.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's having a later start definitely impacts things. Listen. Thank you both for coming on. I'm gonna bring some more other people on. I appreciate you all
Thank
sharing your
you.
experience.
We have the same name, Lamont.
Oh, okay. Another Lamont.
Yeah, that's my middle name.
It's
All right,
everybody's
peace out.
middle name.
I'm watching. I'll be in the background watching.
All right. All right. Bye. So listen, yes. This is a random Wednesday. We're having a conversation about why is everybody a bottom. Okay, I'm gonna bring Chris on, and Mr. Scales. I'm gonna try to bring you on too. Let's see if you gotta click the accept. Why is everybody a bottom? Hey Thaddeus, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you.
It has been forever. You see my T-shirt? Falltacular, baby.
Fall Tackler is a great event outside of Atlanta that a lot of people
It's
hang out.
good to
Yeah,
see you.
yeah. So, are you on your Wi-Fi? Your camera's a little choppy.
Yeah. I'll be there. I'll be in the
Are you on
country.
your
I'm out here on
Wi-Fi?
the. Yeah, I'm on. Actually, no, I'm on my phone. Let me step outside.
No,
You
you
know, I
got to
live in the
connect your
country.
phone to your Wi-Fi. Connect your phone to your
I
Wi-Fi.
I don't have Wi-Fi here.
Oh, okay. Stay right there. It's perfect right there. It's right there.
Oh, all right. I'm not gonna move.
It's good right there. Right there. Say right
All
there.
right.
Right there. So we're
Yeah,
having this conversation, and you're from a
I've been
different.
listening.
Yeah. What do you think so far? What do you want to add?
Well, the young man, the 57-year-old, I was thinking about what he was saying because I'm 58.
Mhm.
And so it's really different from my generation. It was more like whoever you were with, whatever y'all did, kind of what y'all did. We didn't have these labels,
Mhm.
top, bottom, versatile. We just kind of like, it's just real different. I knew that I had a preference, and
Mhm.
my preference was definitely the top. But like I said, we didn't have the labels, so I don't know. It was just kind of like we did what we did.
Mhm.
Um, and I think it is interesting. My ex-husband and I, we together 16 years. We quote unquote flipped maybe a half a dozen times in those 16 years. So does that mean I'm versatile, or does that mean we spiced it up in our marriage from time to time?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I love these types of conversations, and I think the generational thing, Lamont,
Mhm.
I think is awesome because again, like the younger man that was on there talking about his nephew's boyfriend. They going to. I couldn't even imagine no shit like that when I went to high school when I graduated in 1983. There was zero. Now I had a boyfriend back then, but baby, he went to the prom with his girlfriend, and I went with mine. It's a completely different time. I'm glad I lived long enough to see it. I'm glad I lived long enough to see gay marriage and all
Mhm.
of that kind of good stuff. But I really think that some of it is toxic in some ways. But I also will add, now that I'm single, my experience, there's got to be a ratio of like 7,396,427 bottoms to every top. Because,
Really?
baby,
You think really? Really? So
oh my God, there it is. And I'm like, I feel like, like I'm an old swaggy Casanova or something because they see chocolate 58-year-old masculine top and my inbox stays busy. And
so
I'm
they
like, well,
throwing
I don't
takes
need
at you all the time.
all the time, because there's so many bottoms and they can't seem to be a shortage of tops. And then a lot of guys I meet that are versatile, there's like, it's kind of out of necessity. Or I've met a lot of guys, okay, he's got a bigger booty, so everybody just kind of assumed that he needed to be a bottom. Or there's a guy who really wants to be a bottom, but he's got muscles and what one friend of mine calls a baby arm. He got one of them big old things hanging between his legs. So automatically he's supposed to be a top. And it's all of this stuff. Like somebody posted, I was reading, that's why I had my glasses on, nurture versus nature.
Yeah.
And some people, it's what's natural versus what's nature.
Yeah.
And I think, like for those two guys, I think the guy that bottoms with the big booty and the guy that does more topping with the big piece, I don't think either one of them would be in those positions if it wasn't for nurture. I think both of them really want to be a reverse of what they're doing, but it's just like we label them. Like I said, you got the muscles and you got the big piece, you automatically have to be a top.
Right, right, right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the conversation.
Hey Lamont, it's Dean. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We're having this conversation. I'm happy to have you in. Um,
Thank
so,
you.
so, um, so he was saying that like he was married for 16 years, and of that, maybe 12 times he probably bottomed.
Six.
Wait, you were
Yeah.
wait, how long were y'all married?
We were 16 years. I said it was 6 or 7 times over the 16 years.
I'm sorry. Cut that in half. Maybe 6 or 7
Yeah.
times he bottomed. Would you say people would call him a bottom or a top or versatile or versatile?
I would say versatile, but I agree with earlier comments. It doesn't really matter. Like I don't know why we feel the need to label everything.
Hmm.
I think it's about being with that person and whatever works for you and for him at that moment without worrying about who's going to be submissive and who's going to be dominant.
Hmm.
I don't think that really ultimately really matters. And I think you made a good point earlier. This is a form of internalized homophobia,
Hmm. Hmm.
because um, Billy Porter, when he first became very popular, he kept talking about how we would minimize the feminine aspects of ourselves, you
Hmm.
know? And I feel like that's what it's like. So we don't have a problem with a really muscly butch guy being a bottom, right? We don't have a problem with that. So why do we have a problem if somebody's more feminine and they want to be a top? In
Mhm.
my mind, that's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't really, to me, it doesn't matter. And I think we need to look at why that bothers us. We need to dig, like, why does the fact that if someone's slightly feminine, there's no way at all they could top? I mean, why? I think that's the question. Why does that bother us? And why do we let it bother us to the point that we're not going to do what we really want to do for fear of what our friends may say about it or somebody else may say about it, you
I
know?
totally agree with you because some of the best dick you could have could be from a fem top, okay? And some of y'all are missing out on it, right? Somebody in the comment
Absolutely.
section, they said that they found out that the guy who was topping them was a drag queen and he was livid. And I'm like, I'm reading the comment,
So,
I'm like, why though? Why? You were fine when he was
But
topping you.
yeah.
but Lamont, can I say this right quick?
Please.
I know what I like. Whatever you want to call the label, I know what I like. And I
Mhm.
like to say it's like you're going to the grocery store and you don't go down the canned vegetable aisle or the canned fruit aisle and just pick up cans. You look at the label. You know exactly what you're picking up. When a guy tells me that he's the top or he's a verse top, we're going to be friends. That's all. Because one of two things is going to happen if we get into something. You're going to be frustrated because you're not getting this old gray ass,
Mhm.
or you're going to cheat or want to bring somebody else in, and I do monogamy only. So I think that it's important to have an understanding about what it is that I'm not interested in being top. So I'm cool with
Mhm.
the if that works. No, it doesn't work for me.
Right.
So I don't see anything wrong with that. I just think that, like I said, I think 6 years, 6 times in 17, 18 years now, I don't think that makes me versatile. But if that's the title you need to put on it, cool. But if you're trying to date me, I'm going to let you know. It
You
ain't
only gonna
happening.
get it once every other year. Like, but but so listen, I agree with you. I agree with you. And somebody put in the comment section that on my show I should stop asking people what their sexual positions are. I totally disagree because
No, you should
Okay.
ask because people, like he said, people need to know because this is not about what your preference is. It's
right,
about the way we are framing masculine and feminine. That's what this is about. I think you should ask because you you need to know that for compatibility reasons. So
Holiday.
absolutely you should ask,
and you do, thank you. And you don't want to get home and like you be surprised in the bed. And also,
Exactly.
I think with gay sex, everything is a little planned if you haven't so the bottom needs to prepare, okay? so
Well, the bottom needs to, yeah, absolutely.
so someone needs to know, like, before I was when I was single, right? When I was single, I would be like, what we doing, bruh? Because I need to know, like,
Right,
am I eating? Am I oh, can I have ice cream today because you want a bottom? Like, if you topping, I'm not having ice cream, right? So
right,
I think
right,
the dating process is about communication of what do you prefer? What do you like sexually? So that you can see if
right,
it's compatible and that you're not in a situation where it's two bottoms, like two bottoms or two tops who are
right,
trying to bend over.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a difference too between just hooking up with somebody. I mean, that's clearly you need to know what's happening. But I think if you're looking to date and if you're looking to be in a relationship with someone, I feel like one of the earlier people said something about it really is about the experience and it's about the connection.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's if you're dating them and you want to be in a relationship with them. I don't think it's as important really to say you're going to be the top and I'm going to be or whatever it is. That's I think if you come together, you'll find that there's going to be or there can be some definitely some flipping and some variation in there. You
I,
know.
I agree with you 100%. The people in the comment section probably will not, because I do feel
Right.
like if the experience, like Mr. Scales, like I know you said you only flip a couple times every other year, but I bet you if the connection was awesome, like he was like, hey, I want cakes a little bit more, you might say, you know what? I think I could do that. I can accommodate.
Of course.
Yeah.
But that would be
Because
because he's
you
my husband. Now, I also don't do the hookups. I don't have one of them accounts with any of them grinder things or whatever that other shit's called. I don't do that. So if I'm giving you my time, I'm giving you
yeah.
my time like I'm at the doing the dating coach thing. So I'm too old to be wasting my time with booty calls. I need to know, hey, do we have a destination?
Yeah,
Okay, well
yeah,
you like okay, so there's no, and like I said, everybody do work for them. I'm not gonna start without, no, you need to know this because
yeah.
it's not going to work. And as a supposedly straight man, I already played that game. My ex-wife, she said, I don't give head. I said, I love the Lord, it don't matter. It's all right, long as I got. And then a year later, I was running around, getting polished off because I wasn't getting it at home.
Exactly.
So I just believe you're you're supposed to put that shit out there from the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Thank you both for
Yeah.
coming on. Thanks for giving your
Thanks,
perspective.
Thank
Lamont.
you.
I
I love
appreciate
this.
it.
Love you, Lamont. Love you, man.
Thanks, Lamont.
Tell the husband
Take
I
care.
said hi.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Theophis is actually one of my distant cousins. He's on the scale side of the family. Okay. Oh, listen, we've been having I guess, a really great impromptu conversation. Yes, he said polished off about like why in our community we call all gay men bottoms. Like if a guy says that he is versatile, y'all say he's a bottom. I would love to hear from some of the guys who are versatile. If you want to come on, you can click the request button. That'll be great. But I know y'all hate me for saying this, but I definitely feel like versatile guys exist out there. Most gay men who are in long-term relationships and who are married, there is some flipping going on. I don't know what the percentage is. There is some type of flipping going on. And if they say there's not, maybe like 5%, maybe 5%. If they say they're not, they're lying, or they're getting it from somewhere else, right? They're getting it. One of them is getting it from somewhere else. One of them is getting it from somewhere else. So I guess hope that in our community, we can stop bottom shaming, like literally stop bottom shaming, and um, look at people as whole people, and that sometimes things evolve. There are some guys who were strict bottoms in their 20s, and now in their 40s and 50s, they topping people. Sexual experiences, they evolve. Let me bring this other person on. This is Charles. I'll bring you on. Charles, I'll bring you on. Okay. This is a random impromptu conversation today. Charles, let's see. Are you coming on? Let's see. Hey, Charles, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. Have you been listening to the conversation?
Yeah, I have. Yes, I have.
What do you think so far?
Well, I understand a lot of what they both said because both of them are true. I've been in a couple of relationships where I just bottomed for somebody, and that wasn't what I really wanted, but because I liked the person, I decided to do that.
Mhm.
But going down the line, I kind of did not want to do it because that I know that I wanted to top or I wanted to bottom, you
Mhm.
know, and it made relationships very awkward, and it didn't go well at the end.
It did not go well because was it something that you really didn't want to do, or was he not flexible? Why didn't it go?
He wasn't flexible at all. He was mostly a top person, and I tried to make suggestions on let's do this, let's do that, and and it was a no go for everything because he an older guy, and he had these standards where, if we were together, we're supposed to be monogamous, and we're not supposed to do this, and wasn't supposed to do that. So they kind of made everything a little bit difficult.
How soon did you realize that, in the dating process or in the relationship process?
Well, for me, I'm pretty much straightforward when I come to, especially when I meet somebody. I let everybody know that I'm versatile.
Mhm.
And the problem is when people see each other, as far as oh, he's fine, or I like his vibe, or we all tell ourselves these lies where I can do this and I could do that, and later on, years later or months later, is like, oh no, I'm not doing all of that for you. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because I think you are spot on. I think guys, and I like that you find out in the beginning. You're like, hey, what you about? What you open to? And you
Oh
find.
yeah, I don't like surprises.
I do think some people ignore what the person says verbally and say I can tolerate it, and then they get in a relationship 6 months, 12 months in, the guy's not trying to flip, and now you are unsatisfied in the relationship, instead of like saying in the beginning, you said you're not into this, you're not even flexible. Okay, we can just be friends. And they get
Right.
this
But
full
it's so funny because they're willing to um I'll say let me say destroy the relationship as far as being friends or being in a relationship because they want this person so badly at the beginning,
yeah, yeah. No,
you
no.
know.
You think like if a guy says he's a strict top and he's like, I am not flexible. And I would ask him a question, right? So here's the thing. Here's the dating coaching piece for some people. I would ask a guy, like, if he's like, oh, I'm a strict top, I'll be like, well, is it because you don't know how to take dick? Like, is it too painful? Is that what it is? Or do you think that if you get penetrated, you are less than a man? Or that you
You
are.
know, I asked that a couple of times too, but and some of them actually just say that they just don't want to. And I know from
Oh, wait, that
a
would
couple
sit
of
well
my
with me.
friends say,
Bro, that would not sit well with me. I would be like, oh, like,
me
if you
neither,
like it,
me
I would be
neither.
like, tell me more. I'd be like, tell me
Right.
more. Is it that you don't know how to take dick? Or is it that you think being penetrated is like being a woman?
Right, right. That's what I always wanted too. But I had a couple of instances where a couple of my closest friends
Mhm.
actually told me where they was molested or they things like that happened to them
Yeah,
prior to. So, but it kind of refute, kind of made me think about it. It's like, okay, you had this happen to you, but now you want to top other people.
right,
So
right.
so it always kind of, it's always a weird world between those two.
Yeah, so Charles, if someone has some type of sexual trauma, you know, early on, so they're like, "Oh, I don't want to be penetrated because of that." And if you're a person who's versatile, I'd be like, you know what, we just go be friends, because you need to
Yeah,
go to
and
therapy.
that's what I always wanted to do. But like I say, I'm almost tricked into a situation where they say, give me a couple of months or give me, a minute to, want to do this or, and I kind of stick with that because, word is bond to me.
Yeah,
So, when it comes down to that part where, okay, it's getting to a point where I want to go cheap because you not giving me what I say I wanted, and this is not what we talked about. So now it's like I'm the bad guy.
well, I think it would be like, well, you say give you time to get there. I'd be like, okay, well, what do you need?
How much is time?
What, not how much time, what steps do you need to get you there? Like, do you need to do like a sex 101? Do you need to see something? Like, do you need to go to therapy? I want to see progress if I'm gonna stick around, just like, because ain't nobody waiting around.
Right, right,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Because I'm 100% versed, and I don't see myself as a top or a bottom.
Yeah.
I did. I was listening to the conversation. They was like everybody thinks their verse is a bottom, but majority of the time when I want to have sex with someone or in a relationship, I'm like flip flopping type of person. I'm all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I got to do this. Hey, my turn, my turn, my turn. Your turn, your turn. I'm that type of person because that shit is hot. You know what I'm saying?
Tell the people in the comment section because they do not believe versatility exists. They don't believe it exists.
Oh man, it all depends on the person, but it very well exists.
Yeah.
You know, when sometimes it's like if a person that I meet that's a little bit masculine than I am, then I might bottom more. But if majority of times I'm always the top because everyone sees me as the top. But I'm
You fall into the also like the masculine, feminine. Like, would you let a femme guy top you?
no.
Why?
I always had this situation where if I wanted, and I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off, but if I wanted a female, I would get a female.
No, I'm not saying someone who's like um on the
But
extreme.
that would be the same situation because I mean, just get a female. I listen to females. I have two lesbian friends, and they say they put it down like we put it down. She said she get her a whole strap, and she will bend her ass over and get it done. So hey, it is what it is.
So I'm just
You
saying,
know,
he's a guy who's like a butch queen, who's like a little femme. Would you let him top you?
if the vibe is there, yeah, I would.
Okay.
The vibe is there.
I'm just gonna encourage you just to, expand your horizons just a little bit more. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
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 but
yeah.
I do think there are some guys who are strict tops. Like physically when they have anal sex, it's not enjoyable for them. And no matter
No,
how
it's
much you think
sometimes not
it's
even
relaxed,
joy for them
it
for
just
us
doesn't
either.
work.
Because I had people that tell me, "Oh, I can't touch their ass, or I can't eat their ass, or I can't do nothing as far as anything with their ass
Mm.
because they're a top." I had that happen before.
I just be like, why? My question
Right?
is, and I don't settle for it because I don't like it. I'm just gonna be like, I need 3 reasons why. I need 3 reasons why. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But you don't think that it would make situations awkward after you talk about something like that?
No, I think on the third date, that need to be talking about sex.
Right, right, right. I always talk about that at the beginning. Get that out the
I don't
way.
think it's a first date question unless y'all screwing on the first date. Okay.
And I do.
Then that's a first date question for you, dude. But I feel like it could wait to the third date, second or third date. Like, hey, tell me what you're into sexually. What have you done? What are you open to? Like,
Right, 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 right. And
normalize
it makes
talking
it
about it.
makes it a lot easier.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Charles, thanks for coming on. Great
Hey, my pleasure,
conversation.
man.
Thanks for sharing.
All right.
All right. Okay, listen. This is a great random Thursday. We came on. I guess this was a Wendy Williams hot topic of why we keep saying there are so many bottoms in the dating pool. I don't think that everybody's a bottom. I don't think everybody's a bottom. I think there are guys who are bottoms, verse bottoms, guys that are versatile or versatile tops, and I think there are strict tops. If you are in the screwing game and in the streets, yes, I think it benefits you to stick to whatever role you say you want. But if you want a husband or something that's long term, I think you got to do a little bit of flipping, whether it's on the guy's birthday, on Christmas, holidays, a little bit of flipping will help you get your man. Great conversation. We will talk more if there are other topics. Oh, my bad. And there are sides. And there are sides. There are other topics y'all want to talk about. Let me know. But enjoy the rest of your Thursday.